Food. Food. Yummy. Yummy.
Welcome, I'm Andy, and this is Menu from Mars. We're gonna do roast today. Yeah, I know, it's a simple thing, it's crazy. A lot of people don't know how to cook them right. They always make them tougher than leather, or overcooked, or dried out. I'm gonna show you how to perfectly cook a roast every single time, and it's a no-brainer, it's simple. You're gonna need pepper, garlic powder, salt, an 8x8 dish, a Ziploc bag, cutting board, knife, sharp, so I'm gonna sharpen it with this, and a roast. You're also going to need your onion. You're gonna need an onion. You're also going to need your oven at 500 degrees. So, yeah, 500. We're gonna crank that up now. Done and done. I'm gonna get a couple more supplies. I'm gonna get the roast out of the sink, and I'll be right back.
Vote Richard Dick Frothy for president. Hi, I'm Richard Frothy. Many of you know that I have a problem with Google. My Google problem is simple. The name Frothy has been smeared across the internet. I can't even enjoy my cappuccino froth anymore. I'm starting a write-in campaign to Google to disassociate my name so that my name is restored to its proper level. We must disassociate Dick Frothy from that vile Santorum word that's out there. I do not want my name associated with that vile of an act and that liberal senator from Pennsylvania. Well, I'm Dick Frothy, and I approve this message.
We're back. Yes, I did try to cover up an internal burp in that last section. If you caught it, good for you. All right, here we are. I've got my roast. You'll notice that mine is bigger than yours. Correction here, not just salt, I have onion salt. My oven is on 500 degrees, still heating up. My hair disheveled because I need a haircut. Garlic powder, coarsely ground black pepper. You can use your black pepper, but this is better if you don't have it. Sharpening a knife, very simple. Always guard. This guard is there to protect you. So I always put a corner up for diagonal. You don't need to sharpen the crap out of your knife either. Watch. You want to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and easy. Not a lot of pressure. I'm not putting a lot of pressure down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gliding it across at the correct angle. It's tough to get the angle correct. It just comes with time and practice. So, and you can actually, when you're sharpening a knife, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it when you're doing, if you're doing it right, you can feel it. If you're doing it wrong, you won't feel it. I really didn't mean that as innuendo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Ooh, that doesn't count. 1, 2, 1, and 2. And that's it. So, we're gonna need a paper towel anyway, so our cutting board doesn't move. And I just like to run it up and down the blade, make sure no little metal shards are there. So, here we go. We have a roast here, and like I said, you'll notice mine is bigger than yours. When you buy your roasts at the grocery store, somewhere between $10 and $20 for about a 6-pound roast. My roast is about, I want to say 16, somewhere between 10 and 16 pounds, depending on how big it is. This is a larger one. I buy these in bulk, and this hunk of meat right here costs me about 12 bucks because I buy them whole and untrimmed. I like to trim it myself. If you buy them like this, even if you don't have a big refrigerator, go to Sam's, Costco, one of those big warehouse stores. Usually you can get them cheaper. If you buy by the case, if you have a freezer, all the better. I actually ground this up into hamburger sometimes because there are times where buying these per pound are almost half the price of lean hamburger, 90% lean. So I've done this a couple of different ways. I've cut it in half first and then trimmed it, but I think I'm gonna go ahead, wear gloves so you don't contaminate your family or your stuff. This is really straightforward. You just want to trim off the fat. A lot of people will leave this fat on the top of it, just on the top, and trim everything else because they like a little fat. Why? Because they broil the crap out of their roast, and they need it for the extra moisture so that when they bite into their piece of roast that they've cut off, there's a little bit of fat there to give them some moisture because they've obliterated it and it's disgusting now. So we are going to trim off all the fat. We like it lean, and you're not going to need it when you cook it the way I cook it, because as long as you follow my directions, you can't screw it up, and it will come out moist every single damned time. Now, when you cut a little extra of the meat off, it's always good to give the pup something. What's up, girl? Huh? My dog loves this. Right here. There you go. Yeah, that's a girl. Yes, I feed my dog raw food. She eats those little triangle pieces off the chicken wings like potato chips. So, oh, I got another piece for you, Max. Atta girl. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down, and I'll start this back up when I'm done. It doesn't have to be perfect. You want to get as much of the silver skin off as possible, which is just the fatty crap. You just want it trimmed of most of the fat because, like I said, I eat the whole thing. Before you season it, you want to cut it in half because you want to be able to get seasoning on the big parts too. My wife calls it the cookie, the very first piece you cut off with all that. The oven's ready. With all that seasoning on the end of it, she likes that piece. I like the middle pieces. But you just go ahead and pick an approximate halfway point. I've cut these in thirds, so if there's just one of you, which is kind of sad, write me a letter, I'll keep you company. You can cut this into thirds as well and make multiple meals out of it. I'm going to cut this in half because I tend to eat a lot of this. My son eats it, my wife eats it, my dog eats it. Ooh. So cut it in half or in thirds. Ta-da! And you should have approximately 2 6 to 8 pound roasts here. And season. I am going to start with garlic powder. And I said garlic powder, with an A. Oh, we like our garlic, don't we? All right. Jun powder. 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 A little bit. You don't have to go nuts with this. I think it adds something. And it's not powder, it's onion salt. Now, the thought process behind cooking this is you're supposed to have so much per pound, so much time per pound in the oven. We like pepper, so prepare yourself if you're going to eat at my house. We'll go ahead and spice that up. A lot of it on the inside there. This one goes right into the bacon dish. This one we are going to take and I am going to put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. And then the next time I want to cook a roast, I just go to the freezer, thaw it out, and toss it in that dish, throw it in the oven, and it is ready to go. So squeeze all the air out of your bag, but pre-seasoned and ready to go. Okay, the thought process behind this is 3 to 4 minutes per pound. I don't follow that. Got a 500 degree oven here. We've got about, I want to say, a 7-pound roast. I am going to put it in for 18 minutes. I like mine really rare. I've cooked it as low as 16 minutes because I've butchered this myself. Less likely to be contaminated. If it makes you feel better, wash it a little bit. But this comes right from the cryo pack from the slaughterhouse. So it hasn't been processed in a store. It was processed at the place, but we've cut almost everything off the outside. So as long as the outside is cooked, nothing's touched the inside yet, the only thing you have to worry about is parasites, and who doesn't like a little ringworm? Let's be honest. When you're ready to put it in, 7-pound roast, 8-pound roast, I go about 18 minutes. A lot of things online, a lot of places on time for this high temperature cooking will tell you 21, 24 minutes. I find it tends to dry out at that point. I like my meat rare. So I'm going in. I'm going in. And you turn it down to 475. That's it. See it? Into the hot oven. And we are going to set the timer for 18 minutes. All right. All that's left now is clean up and to wait. Now, just so you know, when the alarm goes off, when the timer goes off, you don't pull it from the oven. You don't even open the oven. You want to cook this about 3 hours before you need it. So you're supposed to serve roast at room temperature anyway. Don't make me come to your house and hit you with a brick. When this timer goes off, I'm just going to turn off the heat and walk away. Just walk away. Walk away. Because it's going to continue to cook in the oven as the temperature goes down. Couple hours you want to leave it in here for. Even if it gets to room temperature. A couple of hours! So that it'll finish cooking. But that's it, man. That is how to cook a perfect roast. It's not a Comedy Central roast, but it'll get you there. This goes in the freezer for another day. Your spices go back in the thing, and this was a quick episode. I will show you when it comes out in a couple hours. I'll cut some pieces so that you can see what I'm talking about, and then you can judge from that how rare. If it were a 6-pound roast, or smaller, I do get some of the small ones. Or if I was cutting it in thirds, I might dial it back to 16 minutes. And I wouldn't actually go any higher than 20 minutes for a 7-ish pound roast, which I have there. I like it at 18, sometimes at 17. But I never go above 20 minutes no matter how big my roast is. No matter how big my meat is, I like it at 20. I don't go above 20. To be honest with you, anything over 7 pounds, I usually just do for the amount of time I told you, 18 minutes-ish. Very rare I turn it up to 20, 21 minutes. This will be perfect. You'll see. So, I'll be back.
Richard Dick Frothy for president. Because birth control is the biggest issue we face today. At least it will be after I bomb the out of Iran. Well, I'm Dick Frothy, and I approve this message.
Okay, 18 minutes. Timer off. Oven off. Just let it sit. That's it. It's done. A couple hours from now, I'll cut it up for dinner. Listen, sharp knife. Don't cut yourself with it. The sharper it is, the easier it's going to be to trim one of these without taking a whole lot of what you want left on. Just the fat. Done. Cut it up for dinner tonight, and I'll show you at that point. But that's it. Quick, easy, perfect. It'll be perfect when it comes out of there. I promise you. It's been about 3 hours since it stopped cooking. We're about ready to eat, so I'm gonna grab it out of the oven for you. As you see, not hot anymore. Look at that. I'm gonna cut this down for you. Wait till you see this. Every time it'll come out nice and pink, nice and juicy. I'll get the camera so you can see this. But this is gorgeous. Look at that. Perfect every time. Nice and pink. Good stuff. Look at how juicy that is. It'll come out perfect every time. So this was cooked for 18 minutes. That's it. Then left in there. And it's perfect. It's red on the inside. Just cooked enough on the outside. All kinds of juice. And it'll come out perfect like this every single time. So, go try it. Takes like no time to prep, you saw. And it'll come out perfect every single time if you follow what I told you to do here. Enjoy. I will.
Vote Richard Dick Frothy for president. Because although I live off of the taxpayer, I will not allow regular Americans to. It's unacceptable. Especially those blahs. Well, I'm Dick Frothy, and I approve this message.